All right. How did the first Hokage get wood style? And how did he become a pure sage? There's still a lot of talk over the internet and theories, but I feel like my theory is straightforward and to the point and obvious, okay? I'm going to explain it, and it's going to be chaotic because I get names wrong, dyslexic, and I just can't organize the names and people. So you're going to have to let me slide, okay? I'm going to call people who they not. I might call Madara Jiraiya because Jiraiya on my head all the time, okay? Always thinking about him, okay? But I'm going to read something to you first, okay? But it's not going to explain everything right. But this feels, I don't like reading scripts. It feels wrong. First Hokage wields wood style because he carries the dominant gene of the Ōtsutsuki and their connection to the divine tree. Okay? That's how he got wood style. He wields pure sage energy because he possesses the exact same flawless compatibility with nature energy that Hagoromo unlocked at the Toad Mountains. Okay? All this is connected to the 8 Trigram seal, the seal that's on Naruto, that requires a sage. So that's it, straight to the point as possible, okay? But I don't like the way that sounds. Let me just say it to you like high in my own voice, okay? Wood style, okay? That's weird. Earth and water make wood. Why nobody else not doing that? Why it's all crazy? Because he an Ōtsutsuki, and an Ōtsutsuki use wood. Okay, he is a direct descendant of an Ōtsutsuki and has a reincarnation of a dead Ōtsutsuki god's son in him. Okay, of course he can access Kekkei Genkai. He is Ōtsutsuki descendants plus spirit. So yeah, he can mix water and earth to make a tree, to make a divine-like tree. He is directly connected to him. He has the body, he has the spirit, he has everything required. Okay, so that's how he can use wood style. That's it. He's an Ōtsutsuki. They use trees. He's more Ōtsutsuki than average because of his soul, incarnation, and reincarnation. So he can use wood style. Okay? What about pure sage energy? There's no evidence that he even knew the fucking frogs. You know what I'm saying? There's no evidence. You know, Hagoromo learned from the frogs, and he happened to be the first that we know of, first sage on the planet. He happened to know the frogs. They happened to teach him pure sage energy. Okay, the frogs happen to teach Jiraiya, they happen to teach Naruto's dad, and they happen to teach Naruto. But there's no evidence that they taught the first Hokage, the direct descendant of the first guy they taught it to. Why would they care about that guy? The guy doing everything he did. What do you mean? It's clear as day that Hashirama follows the path of Hagoromo. So the frogs gave him some help. They taught him sage energy. He mastered it just as his namesake did, and he became a pure sage. He became a pure sage. The frogs looked him up, said, hey, we knew your fucking grandpa. There's an evil on the rise just like last time. The tail beasts are in danger just like last time, and we need you to do something about it just like last time. You down? You his son too. And you're like, damn. Oh, shit. Okay? They teach him frog sage. He purifies it. He becomes a pure sage. Okay? But what am I talking about the 8 Trigram seal requiring a sage? Do y'all think that it's a coincidence that the only people we've seen fuck with the seal, okay, is the first Hokage? Remember, he uses it on Mito. I can't remember her name. I'm going to call her Mito. He used it on Mito, his own wife. Okay, that's not a coincidence that she's an Uzumaki. And they have Kekkei Genkai that just happen to be very Ōtsutsuki-like. Allowed themselves to be bitten. Ōtsutsuki turned themselves into fruit. The chains, the ten-tail spit out chains to grab the tail beast. Like all these weird abilities, it just happened. Okay, but okay, all right. She here, okay. And now we have this special seal that can mold nature energy and chakra and reach Sage of Sixth Path like abilities. None of the other Untail Beast hosts can do this. Only this specific seal that the first Hokage was using, who happened to be a sage, who happened to be related to Hagoromo, and she too happened to be related to him. It's not happenstance. It's what he wanted his descendants to do. They're following his path. The frogs got their back. It's the same cycle before, before we worried about Naruto and Sasuke. This was the plot. This ritual. The frogs are the original protectors of the planet. They always been down. They always want somebody to defend it. They want a Sage of Six Paths. They want that to happen. But they need the right vessel. They need the right person. And it's always related to Hagoromo. Naruto's related to him. Okay? He's the most related to him out of everybody else. Okay? But let me get back. The first Hokage wife, the seal happened to be on her. Okay? So we got a husband who's a sage who used the seal, and then we got the wife that's the host. Okay? Why she don't just use the seal? Because she's not a sage. She's not a sage. She's the host. Naruto does it. He happens to be a sage, a Uzumaki, and a host all in one. But back in the day, it used to be two. And then he dies, and then Jiraiya trains Naruto, and this new little girl comes who's a Uzumaki, and this old lady Uzumaki, she doesn't do the unseal by herself. A sage does it. A sage takes it out of her, the first Hokage. This is before he dies, and he puts it in this little girl. Seems so cruel, but he did it before. He put it in an Uzumaki before, and he tried to tamper with it just like Jiraiya did to Naruto. He tried to loosen it to mix it in his wife so she could become a Sage of Six Path and do things to protect the world. She couldn't, because this is the goal of the Sage of Six Paths, the god himself, to get his descendants to mix this energy properly. And this is a shortcut that's natural, and it doesn't work because it's two of them. Okay, that seemed like it worked because Ōtsutsuki, everything is two. And then they pass it down to this little girl. And then, what do you know? She hangs out with a guy that's a sage. Okay, they're not really married yet. But damn, he learns her family's technique. Why would he learn the sealing technique? Because they're supposed to use it. The sages use the seals. That's why Orochimaru can tamper with it. That's why Jiraiya can loosen it and try to make Naruto do it and mix the chakra properly, but he couldn't do it yet because he wasn't a sage, and he has to do it all in one. But they didn't know that yet. Okay, so now they're hoping that Kishuna and Naruto's dad work together and do this power. They hang out, but they fall in love instead. But that's how he learned sealing techniques, from her, because he's supposed to use seals on her. They are the vessel, and they teach the seal so people can use it on them. That's how it worked. That's the crazy part. That's why Karen is like that. They're meant to be sacrifices. They're meant to be hosts. That's why they think that way. Okay? So now it's in her. But then Naruto is born. Karen would have probably been a better sacrifice. Okay? But she's not in the village yet, or not born yet. Naruto happened to be here, and it happened to be an emergency. Now, the fourth Hokage, who happened to be the closest thing to pure sage alive on the planet at the time, splits the nine-tailed fox chakra. That's one crazy feat, but it's not a surprising thing because the last pure sage, the first pure sage, did that. So it makes sense that Naruto dad can do that and do this seal, the Uzumaki seal. Again, that makes sense. He's learning from them. He's related from them. He learned from them. The succession is clear, right? He does all this shit and he puts it in his son. And he's like, fuck, it would have been better if you learned the sealing technique, son. And then we put it in your sister or in somebody else. And then you tamper with them. That would have been the right way to do it. But unfortunately, I got to put it in you. You know what I'm saying? Circumstances what they is. Jiraiya like, fuck it, we gonna just try to do it, Naruto. I'ma just try to tamper with the seal. You try to master the power, okay? Alright? Just like the others. Naruto like, alright, let's do it. And it doesn't work, just like the last time and just like the last time. But then, to everybody's shock, Naruto masters some sage mode. Not as good as Naruto dad, but Naruto dad didn't have the nine-tailed fox inside of him. He didn't have it inside of him. Naruto has the nine-tailed fox inside of him. That's why it wouldn't work good, because he has the nine-tailed fox inside of him. It wouldn't work good. It's not supposed to work good in the host. It doesn't work. The nine-tailed fox is in him. But he's like, nope, I'm going to do it inside of him. I know about the secret temple. I'm going to go to the secret temple with the 8 tails. I'm going to master myself, and I'm a sage, and I'm going to do the ritual myself in that room. That's probably what Jiraiya did. That's probably what the fourth did. That's probably what the first did. That's probably how it looked. The tail bees in the room, and then the sage in the room, and they battle over chakra. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened to them. I bet you. They don't show it, but they tell you. The story sort of lays it out for you. You know what I'm saying? Only sages can tamper with the seal. Only they have knowledge about this specific seal. And then Naruto gets the seal. He too is a sage. He's too directly related to these people. It's how it's designed. It's to make a sage of 6 paths. Okay? I hope I made everything organized. I hope it's right. It's my theory. It's been in my head for years. To me, it's simple and straightforward, not complicated. But then when you say it all, it's complicated. But to me, people come up with complicated stories.